Hello everybody, I'm Mustafa and in this video I would like to talk about something here. So in this video I would like to say about the book like the previous video I was saying about it, and in this video we'd like to talk about the player as I was saying. And this guy is a Swedish player. He's 41 years. He was a football player before, but was retired just uh, just some few months ago. And I would like to describe about him. But before that, today what I would like to say is about my summer. Let's say just before I even start this, so far how it going through this year about my summer. The previous video I should have mentioned it, but today I will say it. So I was just describing about I was just introducing the books in the previous video about this book. So today I would like to say, before we start this one, I would like to talk about my summer, like any of them. As you see, we have also there are some other videos, but also even talked about some places where I wanted to go. So now I would like to talk about just the summer, some few things what I did through the summer. So what I was doing is now, uh, during the summers, usually I've been traveling. So I used to travel to different countries that I wanted, but also sometimes like different. But sometimes we also go the same place. Just wanna go for vacation, then I just come back. Uh, to my just to my I want to just come back to my country, to my location. Okay, I will travel from this place to another place, so just come back to my place. I would just stay the minimum like a month, like maximum I would stay 2 months. It depends how our holiday would go through. So this was just about something about the short version of going to travel uh, to a different country. So um, there's once I wanted when I was traveling, let's say to the Egypt. Okay, one year before, like once in a time. Sorry, I mean that would be in 2017. This year, I used to usually when I was traveling to Egypt. What I remember about it was that I was wearing a suit, and that was the first time, my first suit ever. It was navy blue, but I was wearing the white shirt, so everything it was just matching it. So I was wearing the navy blue coat, navy blue trouser, and the navy blue tie. So except the shirt was white. Or some they also wear like light blue. Some they, but mostly they just wear the white shirt. Like if you want to, that's like the suit as we wear. Um, in an airport, I have some challenges in some the annoying parts to me to visit it. So the first annoying part is the going through all this queue. Like it's a very long queue. But if you come early, like you will not face this queue, but you will reach faster. So everyone tries to come early because when they come late, the it would be a longer queue. So they might even be late for the flight. Let's say. So what I hate about this was the long queue. So when we come like very late, let's say uh the flight will leave at let's say 6 p.m. Let's say 6 o'clock. Okay, 6 p.m. And I wanted to go to the airport. I wanted to leave my house. Let's say at 1 a.m. 1 p.m. Sorry, 1 p.m. So when I leave 1 p.m., I would reach early. So it depends how far in your location would take. So my mom would have just taken like from my house to the airport. Let's say it would have taken me like 30 minutes. Like 30 minutes, I would come the. But somehow you might be very long. But it might take you like an hour. So you have to try to manage that time, because when you come late, like when you come late to the airport, not even late, but you come like 1 hour before, let's say, the departure of your flight. So it's the same as being late, because some many people would come late to that time. So there'll be a longer queue. You're gonna have to go through the airport security. You're gonna have to go through the immigration, and also, but before the immigration, you have to go through the measuring your baggages. You have to measure your baggages, but your hand baggage, you just carry it with your hand. So then we go through the immigration. They'll take photos. You have to remove your cap like that. So what the first thing is, when I arrive to the airport, I have to go through the airport security. The first thing, the airport security is the first thing to me. But in Sweden, wasn't the first. It was later on. But there's two security checks you go through. Now, what are the things that I have to remove? There's so many. It depends what you have. If you have a lot, let's say everybody would have shoes, or everyone would just come with their phones. Some of them might even have their headphone. So, but if you have many things, let's say you have your watch, you have your belt, you have like a hat, you have your let's say rings or earrings, you have some jewelries, let's say, for example. Then or let's say you have the belt also. So if you have a lot thing, or let's say you have jacket or coat, so you'll be wondering, what do I have to remove? Okay, now these are the things you remove. When you come there, um, you'll be told what to remove, so you'll be reminded. Okay, they say how remove your belt, remove your phones. Phones everyone most likely will have. The other thing is the shoes. You have to remove your shoes. So then you put it in the security bin. Then when I went there, I just removed everything, just except the belt and my watch here. So I just went through, not even with even the ring. Let's say I traveled there. So when I reached there, it produced alarm. They were like, "You're gonna have to remove this watch." But I was like, "But I didn't notice. I don't. Why can I just go through it?" They were like, "Hey, we have to go back again. Back." I went back. I just removed it. So once you forget something, they just have to take you back there, and you're gonna have to remove them. If not, you miss your flight. So that's what I heard of it. So I was just doing it on purpose. The other even thing, I just did it on purpose. Just went with my watch and my ring, and then even the belt. So just to hide it, so they don't see it. When I went there, what are you having here? Remove your watch, your ring. They were like, your belt even. So I just removed my shoes. That's it. Because the shoes is the most common one, and the phone, I just even left it there. So everybody, some of them might just even go with their phone. They were like, "Hey, you're gonna have to remove your phone. Take your phone and back." So once you forget something, you're gonna have to go back. If not, you're gonna miss your flight. So that's for the first thing. You just have to stay patient. Just have to move on. After that, we can take you back. But there's another one later on, before you go to the waiting side where you wait for the flight. Before you go to the gate, let's say gate A, gate B, gate C, gate D, for example. Then you have your like the restaurant, obviously. Anyone else, every airport security, I just went my watch. I was like, let's see what they're gonna do, because in the Google, I just wrote there, you're gonna just go through the watch, if you're afraid. So instead of putting in the security bin, what I heard is, let's say uh, let's say you have a bag. Okay, let's say you have your bag. Then you just move your watch like this. Then you put it in the bag. That's it. Then I have to also, the other thing was, rings I had there, they're not even supposed to be removed. But since they contain metal, just assume just to remove it, because when anything that contains with metal, if you just go through there, they can produce alarm. So if you just remove your ring, just put it, not even put it in the security bin, but just put it in the bag, like the one I showed you my watch. Even if you're afraid to get lost. So, but what I think is, if you have a laptop, you cannot, even in the bag, you're gonna have to remove them and put it in the bin, like in one bin. in one security bin. So that would fit. But you have to make sure it has a charger. It's full charged, because when you reach there, they're gonna switch it on. They'll check something, then you go ahead. So after you come through there, everything you move, okay. Some of them even touch you, like, or some they were like, okay, just go ahead, it's fine. They don't even care. So just go through. That was some challenges. Just a little bit having it, just to go through, Then the belt, because the belt is just annoying, because let's say my trouser, I would feel uncomfortable, like it would fall, not stable, let's say. So I wouldn't feel stable. But yeah, if it's just for short time, even if you want another time before you remove it, you just check your watch like this, just just remove it. You just take from some few minutes. Then after we go through, you can have it. So that was a little bit short story. So where I traveled, like, it's actually like I went to Egypt, let's say. I went to, let's say, Dubai. Mostly I went as a transit, but there was one once I lived for hotel, like, for like 3 nights. Let's say I lived for hotel. I went for McDonald's in those days I was in, but then I have to travel ahead. So I had like 3 days to stay in the hotel, but that was only once before. But most of the times I went through, like, as in the transit. So that was like my holiday. That's how I was doing it so far. And then, so now let's go through about, like I was saying, the book. So I just introduced the book, how it's about. Just go through this, and it's I feel it's very interesting to make books, like to write books, just for your own, like, then you record to the channels, and like, let's say, to be like let's say let's say you want to be a writer for the book. You want to make a text for the book, like this. I have a text there. I have another text here. I have another text there. I have another one. I have another one. So, in this case, I would like to talk about um, this player, Zlatan Ibrahimovic. Zlatan Ibrahimovic is a Swedish football player who played as a striker. The former football player, the Swedish one international, who played as striker. He's now 41 years old. He will soon turn 42, and he's a really good player. He was uh, he was my favorite player of all. Like, the first one that really liked him. I was interested on his skills, on his confidence, on even his funniest interview. I like about him what he does. So this is a football player who has record that scored the longest overhead kick, bicycle kick, the longest of all. That's the record that he broke in football, and he scored 62 goals in 122 matches for the Sweden national team. He played for he scored different teams in the Champions League. Played for eight different teams, including Ajax, Juventus, Inter Milan, Barcelona, AC Milan, PSG, Manchester United, LA Galaxy. He scored 511 goals, club goals, then 62 goals in international football. He retired from international football in 2016, but returned in 2021. So he was a really good player. In the next video, I was just introducing about him, but I went some another detail before that. So the detail was just about the holiday, what I was my summer, let's say, because usually I just travel to the summer. I just talked about the airport, all these things, all this experience I was experienced with, and the interesting is, like, the airplane when it is going up, let's say. So sometimes you feel, like, let's say, nervous when it's going up. So it was just to introduce, but in the next video we'll talk about him. like so many things so about Zlatan. So see you in the next video.